Alright, what's up, guys? People have been asking for it, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I'm gonna be running this offline CFM with the 2015 rookies. And as you can see here, I'm gonna go load them up. And of course, I'm running with the Steelers. You don't even need to ask that question. And Thomas Draft 2015 is the one I'm using. They have all of the rookies. As far as I know, they have, rounds 1 through 7. I generally do this a lot, man, since we've been able to do these file shares. So it's nothing different than what I normally do. But just want to show you guys, everything that I'm doing, and go ahead and bring it to you. So as you can see here, I got a little bit of few sliders going on here, and I'm coming to find out, man, that it seems like the closer you get to what it is out of the box, I'm still getting pretty good gameplay. I love the sliders that Smitty has produced. I love the sliders that Azure has produced. I love my own sliders that I've produced. But you come to find out, man, that the game is going to give you what it gives you most of the time, out of kind of staying close to the numbers that are set. And the reason why I say that is because we all know that we know, I don't know if you guys know, but the game is designed to be played on not designed, but it's tuned to be played on All Pro. So in that case, I try to keep it as close as possible without doing any extremes. So let me create a new offline. Use default, no, import custom roster. And like I said, man, a lot of guys have been asking for this, so I'm going to stream it for the most part. And then at times when I'm not streaming it, what I will actually do, I'm going to throw it up on YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and just be a coach. And I'll go ahead and take over Mike Tomlin. Well, not take him over, but I'll choose Tomlin. I don't really feel like dealing with the whole owner. So we'll run All Pro, we'll run 8 minutes. And accelerated clock, we'll keep that on. Normal game speed. Strafe assist. No. Heat seeker, no. Ball hawk, no. Lead switch assist on. Kicking arc, no. I think everything else is pretty much where I want it. And I don't know why the title is showing the way it is, man. I don't. What's up, Smith, man? Chilling, man. Chilling. Yeah, I don't know why that title is saying. Let me see if I can change it. I think it's still showing you guys that it's SSRL playoffs. And that is not what I'm playing right now. So let me change that up. Madden 15, 2015 rookies, CFM. And what I've been saying, man, for you guys who just recently got on, I've basically been saying to you guys that what I'm doing here is just doing a CFM offline with the rookies. A lot of guys have been asking for it. They've been asking for me to do a CFM offline. So I'll go ahead and oblige them. As we wait for these next titles to come out, as we wait for Joe Montana news, as well as we wait for Madden 16 to come out. Trying to do whatever I could do to make the games last, man. So let me import these custom sliders here. So as you can see, man, I haven't done too much to change as far as the sliders. I've used all kinds of sliders. And I'm having pretty solid gameplay out of these sliders, so I'm testing them out as well. You know, I may change these going forward. I may switch back to Smitty sliders and some other guys in the community, but as you can see, man, I have quarterback accuracy to 10, pass blocking to 100, and you guys pay attention to that because I want to show you how you can still get pressure and all of that, but you know, to me it makes it a little more realistic and not having so many sacks. Everything else is on 50. I may turn down the run blocking for the player depending on, you know, how everything goes. I'll leave fumbles on 50 for now. Maybe I'll turn those down a bit. Let's turn those down to about 25. Pass defense, reaction time 100, interceptions we leave it at 50, tackling at 50, and we'll just adjust these to 25. And everything else is on 50s. Injuries we'll put on 45. Fatigue we're going to turn that up to 90. Some of you people are going to think I'm crazy for doing that. Minimum threshold, we'll put that down to about 20. And penalties and everything, we'll bump everything up by 3. Just so it happens. We'll turn this up to 100, even though I don't think it matters. But just for sake of hoping it would happen, we'll turn it up to 100. We'll leave everything else on 50. So, alright, let's go ahead and get it started. No, it says... Oh, okay, good. I wasn't sure. The title... When I look at it here on Twitch, it was still showing the old title. Whose roster did you download, Sim? I might get in this one. Oh, what's the guy's name? Thomas Draft 2015, I think his name is. I'll show it to you at the end of the game, but that's the guy I usually go. You know, he's been my go-to guy for the last, you know, 2 Madden games or whatever. He's primarily one of the main guys in the community that does this, as well as you know, on the console. He has the most downloads and all of that. So let's go take a look at the roster and see how it's all set up here. I'm all over the place here, man. Give me a moment. And just trying to get the first game in here during my lunch break. So we'll see what we got. Alright, D'Angelo Williams, fullback, Will Johnson. Alright, we got Sammy Coates. I'm actually going to put Coates at the 4 spot. And where's the boy? The boy we drafted from, I'm going to put him at the 3. That boy we drafted from Penn State. Left end, of course, we're going to go with Cam Hayward. Stephon Tuitt is going to start on the right. Clifton Gathers. We'll have to see how he does, but I really like Daniel McCullough, so keep an eye on him. Left outside linebacker is going to be... I'm actually going to make Bud Dupree. I think that's what Bud's going to end up. Jarvis Jones is probably going to be the starter on the right side. You know, we're going to have to see how he pans out as far as the real Steelers. So let me get Bud in here. And Chicolo, we'll put him on the left side as a backup there. And then, of course, we're going to get James Harrison in here as a backup. You know, Joy Porter has already said this year that Harrison is not going to be a starter. We're going to limit his touches. So, I mean, his snaps. Duran Grant, this is the guy we got from Ohio State. And Antoine Blake was a little scrappy guy we had last year, so I'll leave him in that spot. And Sinquez Golson from Ole Miss. I'll show you where they got him rated. Zone coverage, man, 75, 78. Okay, so we got to get those guys improved. And that's another thing. I mean, you know, with these rosters being created, you know, the ratings, you know, is definitely opinionated. You know, who's to say? Like, they got this guy here, you know, rated a 55. That's Gerard Holloman out of Louisville. This dude had 14 interceptions last year. How crazy is that? Let me see where his stats are. As far as coverage, I ain't really worrying about it. Look at his coverage, it's crazy, but I want to see what his catching is at, since he had all those picks. And like I said, man, these are just community guys who are rating people, so catching 85, so that makes sense to me. All right, let's go ahead and jump into it, man. Talking too much. Let me see if I can get this game in. Doing my lunch hour. Let's do a little bit of prep. Oh man, I felt pretty good about the draft. I felt pretty good, man. I was supposed to get up my my Terrible Tale Tuesday, another series. I was supposed to put that up yesterday, but you know, I didn't get around to it. I recorded the video. I just, you know, didn't get around to doing the we'll just do this for now, just so I could breeze through this. I just didn't get around to all of the editing and everything, so I'll probably put that up next week. You know, I did a draft recap, and I was pretty excited about the draft, man. I can't complain. The only thing that, you know, I still wanted my dream scenario to pan out. I wanted to see us grab Landon Collins at the 22 spot, and we didn't. That's the only thing, you know. But other than that, you know, how can you be mad at getting Bud Dupree? I mean, come on. You know, the Steelers definitely need some pass rushing. So, who could really argue that? You know what I mean? So, it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, I don't think anybody can really argue with that pick. I'm just glad to see us stay with the defense, man. We got Sinquez Golson, who's another ball hawk. In the number 2 spot, he's a little small, but I think we're going to throw him inside, and we might leave him outside. You know, he played outside in college. You know, he had 10 interceptions. Then we got Duran Grant from Ohio State. He's a physical corner.
Hello, everyone.
You know, he's the type of guy that might be able to fill that, you know, give us what Ike Taylor used to give us, a physical type of play. He had 5 interceptions, so I mean, it was definitely cool to see us go defense and stick to the plan we came out with. We got 6 defenders and 2 offensive players. Can't be mad at that at all. Oh, you know what? Let me get Antonio Brown from back there. I don't know why he's back there. Also, I'm gonna try Taj Boyd out. Let him be the number 2 quarterback. Work him out, and we'll put Gradkowski here with Landry Jones. Landry probably gonna get cut. Dree Archer. I'll put my boy B.W. Webb as a backup, and I'm gonna let Dree handle the punt return duties as well. Because, you know, this is Madden. They will get hurt very quickly. Yeah, and I didn't really follow the Rams to know what all they picked. But obviously the Gurley pick. We are trying to get off early. Yeah, obviously, sorry, Gurley. I think that's gonna pay off. I didn't really think they was gonna grab a running back that early though, considering that I think Trey Mason did a great job, and y'all still got that dude Stacy, right? Can't remember his first name.
First down.
But I mean, like a lot of the people were saying, man, you look at Jeff Fisher. Jeff Fisher likes those big time guys. So he likes those big boys at the running back, Eddie George type.
And there's only 2 yards to be found right there.
Not too surprising.
Here's the player who basically lives at the Steelers complex, Antonio Brown. He'll outwork everybody.
You said it right. He is the hardest worker on the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it shows.
Oh, Stacy got traded. Okay, well, yeah. I mean, I don't know who else y'all really got. Damn, Giants defense coming to play. Running the ball a little bit, man. Just testing the defense out, see how they react.
They need Rogers Cromartie to turn into a shutdown corner. If they can get that from him, they can return to a dominant defense.
But yeah, that makes sense then. I mean, Stacy's gone.
Set at the line, dime package.
Oh, let me see if we can get Brown deep over there.
3rd down and 10.
Dang. Took too long, held the ball too long. I couldn't get it off.
Well, the defense has got to be excited.
Let's take a look at that real quick, guys. Again, like you guys know, I'm testing sliders out, stuff like that. So keep in mind, again, this is at 100 pass coverage. I mean, pass blocking. You see what I'm saying? It's not like they can't get through. Let's look at it in fast motion. 1, 2, 3. And that's pretty much an NFL pocket.
They make the play. They get pretty fired up. But when you sack a quarterback on 3rd down, that is one happy and emotional defense right now.
And not a favorable bounce this time as it's headed to the end zone for a touchback. And leading the Giants onto the field is quarterback Eli.
Yeah, and I don't even know Cunningham.
Super Bowl winner, 2-time
I don't know that running back.
MVP.
But I like Trey Mason, man. I like him.
Every time I talk about Eli Manning with the New York Giants,
I liked him in college, man. He was a tough dude.
In his career, that is some outstanding accomplishment.
Oh my God!
Being the MVP of 2 Super Bowls.
That looked like real Steelers football right there. And safety, like Mitchell couldn't cover himself at night in the bed.
Let the wide receiver outrun the defensive back, and he makes a nice catch there.
Offense lines up here. The Giants take it from the 38.
Oh.
Nowhere to go.
Man, almost got out of there.
3.
Oh, that's what I meant to do too, guys. I wanted to change the.
Taking a look at the offense now.
I want to change the jersey numbers.
And that is wide receiver Victor.
I know the guy who did the roster, probably didn't really think about it like that, but not just because it was Palomalo's number. I just don't like number 43 for Bud Dupree. I think he needs to be in the 50s or in the 90s.
And he's thrown to the ground.
There he is. What they call him? Face mask.
Grabbing the face mask. We see it almost once a week, and here it happens again.
Well, a lot of
see
times
Bud Dupree got in the backfield real quick.
A little slack because they're
what up, Havo?
They're trying to tackle some tremendous athletes in open space.
Just trying to get the best out of these games, man. Just doing an offline CFM with the new rookies. I downloaded some rosters. They got all the rookies and all that. Just trying to get life out of these games, man, as we wait for these new upcoming games. And as we march closer to June, man, I'm hoping we're definitely going to get some info on Joe Montana.
Lined up in the backfield.
I'm just hoping to have a couple, 2 good games to play this year. Would be nice.
To the left, and there's Cruz.
Unlike a lot of guys, man, in the community,
matchups to watch for the Steelers.
And I'm sure you would understand that, you know, with you doing ratings and, you know, breaking down the ins and outs and underneath of the game. You know, Madden has a lot of potential, man, like that a lot of guys haven't been able to see. You know, we can see it when we're down at EA, like the things that they're working on and the things that they want to do is just, it just has to get flushed out, man. It just has to, they have to do it, for lack of a better term. You know, they just, it's a lot on the table. It's a lot they're trying to implement, and I think everyone will start to see, you know, with Madden 16, you'll start seeing, you know, exactly what they want to do and beyond. But even with that being said, man, I'm excited at the possibility of it being a Joe Montana game, and I hope it's a good game. I hope it is. If it's not, you know, an amazing game, which we got to keep it in perspective, I hope it's at least a game. Let's take a look at this play real quick. I hope it's at least a game that, you know, offers something that can, you know, at least light the fire under the devs, not the devs, I'm sorry, but the executives at EA. See, I like this too, guys. What I was saying, man. Even with the pass coverage, I keep saying pass coverage. Even with the pass blocking up to 100, you're still getting decent results. You know, you're not able to hold the ball forever. And like I said, the reason why I've turned it up because I hate playing seasons and, you know, hearing guys say in their CFMs that, you know, guys are getting 30 sacks in a season, and that's absolutely ridiculous. Pass coverage and pass reaction time is at a 100. You know, as you can see, playing pretty good defense, man. He didn't have really anywhere to go. Looks like he was going to this guy here. I forgot his name. His tight end. But, oh yeah, O'Donnell or whatever his name is. His emerging tight end from last year. But as you can see, Stephon Tuitt wasn't having it. He bust through the double team and he disrupted that play. And for any guys who may see this, you know, I know I'm going to be putting this on YouTube. For any of you guys that may see this, you know, this is, you know, for the first time. If you're not familiar with how I do things, you may see me going to replay from time to time because, you know, I am a critiquer. You know, a guy who's always looking for simulation and breaking down plays, whether it's good or bad. So from time to time, you'll definitely see me going to the replay. And again, you know, I'm just trying to see how some of the sliders are working that I've adjusted.
Handoff made to the outside. Bell, and they are in on
Face mask. Now, I have face mask up to 53. And we've seen, looks like we've seen about 3 of them already. So that might have to be turned back down, or maybe, you know, maybe put it on 51.
Yeah, it is a big penalty. You know, one thing, you know why we see a lot of face
We'll keep an eye on it for the
NFL
rest of the game, but that looks to be a little crazy
too high,
so far, you know, at an early, this early of a start.
Taken down at the 45.
And so far, leaving run blocking at 50 definitely doesn't seem like it's going to be a problem. I can't run all over the computer. So far, it seems, and that's good.
And a bunch set. Eyeing that left side.
You got to turn around right there.
Nice job of the defense heads out in position.
Let's go take a look at that. Now, you know, his route is supposed to be here, and then he breaks to the outside. You know, almost like a, you know, almost like a post to the opposite direction. See, he's breaking, and it may be that might be my fault there. What I tried to do is throw it to him when he was open. You know, in a sense, but he didn't turn around. The defender is there to make the play, so I can't be really mad at that, but I wish he was able, and, you know, what I'm about to say could be a little nitpicky, But I would like to see, you know, receivers try to locate the ball more than, you know, instead of just being locked into that catch. But it is what it is. I mean, I could clearly see that was why that happened. That was a bad pass. Oh, there we go. Get the ball out. There go Bud Dupree, big boy. I tried to wind up and run over Eli. Yeah, I got to get that 43 off of him. That was a kind of a crazy play right there. I'm going to go back and take a look at that one. Oh, Donnell, that's the guy's name. I called him O'Donnell at first.
So solid and so good. The offensive player had no choice. He had to give up.
That was a nice play, man, for what it's worth. Take a look. And I just want Madden to get the movement right, man. Once they get it to where it looks better in action as well, it would be able to appreciate. You'll be able to appreciate more of what happens on the field. But it's just not as fluid as it could be. But as you can see, Stephen McClendon, he whips this guy out of the way. Nobody picks up Shazier. The running back actually read, you know, he didn't read that blitz properly, and he should have been able to because he's looking right at Shazier, in my opinion. Look where his head is. But anyway, Shazier comes in, he rushes the pass. Like the fact that Eli was able to just get it off. And then here comes Lawrence Timmons with the big hit to knock it out. That's good stuff right there. But like I said, man, in terms of how it's replicated, it definitely could be better.
Great starting position here for the offense. Bell takes his spot in the backfield. They'll run it here, and they are in on Bell.
Missed the hole right there.
This will be second down. Ben Roethlisberger takes a look down from under center. He'll keep it on the play fake. He's looking to the right here on this throw.
Ooh, I had to get out of the way. Heat was coming.
Roethlisberger's able to show off the footwork. Wow,
that was a good block.
Look at those feet.
I don't even know who picked that up.
Gets himself in very good position.
I'd have to go back and see who picked up that block, because I was thinking I was going to run right into that guy blitzing in. But luckily enough,
split backfield here.
They picked up that block. It might have been Heath Miller.
Roethlisberger with the give. Gets about 4 yards.
See, like right there.
What that run does,
I needed the movement needs to be a little better. That should have been able to do a real quick juke. And you can do it in this game, but like I said, man, it just doesn't replicate that well as far as the overall look of the movement. But right there, that was supposed to be like a quick hit, boom, quick step, foot in the grass. And I might have got 3 or 4 more yards right there.
Here's the handoff. Williams up the middle. He's tackled beyond the markers. It's a first down.
First down by the offense inside the red zone. Can the defense?
And in terms of the real NFL, man, I think D'Angelo Williams is going to help us out. You know, that's a pretty good back to spell Le'Veon. You know, just like how LeGarrette Blount did. And definitely, you know, he's going to help us out those first 3 games. You know, while Le'Veon is on his suspension.
Touchdown, Pittsburgh Steelers.
That was easy enough right there.
Good job on that touchdown. That puts them ahead. And it's always, of course, better to be ahead than behind.
The Steelers getting set now for the point after.
Points off a turnover.
Extra point is good. The Steelers will kick it away momentarily. They were able to capitalize on great field position following the fumble, and they'll be hoping the defense can help them out like that once more. Steelers setting up here for the kickoff.
We'll see what happens this year, guys, with these football games. The more information I find, man, the more I dig about Joe Montana. It definitely seems like it's going to be an Xbox exclusive, which That's unfortunate, man. If that's really the
First
case.
down here.
That would be very unfortunate, man, for a lot of people. You know,
One more
you kind of
snap,
take
and
some of
that'll
the
end
value
quarter.
away from the game automatically, especially for newcomers.
He's got the catch. He's brought down at the 25-yard line.
Good Lord, Bud Dupree is all over the field. Let's go take a look at that real quick. And again, guys, sorry for all the stopping, and you know, I'll try not to do that after this play until I see something, you know, that needs replay. That boy Bud Dupree is all over the field. Alright, so let me stop being
The pass
replay
play
happy.
was good for 5. Second and
Just
5
play through the
coming
game.
up. The Giants come to the line with an empty backfield. And the second quarter is underway with this snap. On the money. Good piece of tackling.
What's the old expression? Just move the chains. That's what they did with that throw and catch that time, Tim. It also gives them a chance for 3 more downs.
Harper's going to get set in the slot for this snap. First down at the 37. Trying to work that left side. No
Inaccurate pass.
separation at all. Incomplete.
Well, the quarterback can't get him open. He threw to the right guy that time, but the coverage was so good by the defense, nowhere to get the completion.
Terrius Walton, they call him LT. That's another guy that we drafted out of Central Michigan. He's a big body.
The Giants from the 37. And Jennings taking the handoff. And they tackle
There's that
him
dude,
down at the
what's his
37-yard
name?
line.
Chicolo from Miami. Number 52 right there. He's another big body linebacker. You know, I'm listening to like the post-draft conferences and also, you know, what the Steelers do. And I imagine, you know, most teams do that.
On the way, third
But every
down.
time that they draft somebody, you know, they do a conference
On
with
this
that coach.
passing down, the defense
And they're
comes
high
out
on that
with
guy.
it.
You know,
From
they're
the
high
gun.
on Chicolo as well as Walton, you know, as far as their body
Hits
type.
the ground and goes incomplete on
Nice
the short
pocket right. I
throw.
mean, a nice
Well,
collapse
quarterbacks
of the
know on
pocket
third
right
down,
there.
they
See,
gotta
again,
make a decision to get
even
rid
with
of
pass
that
blocking at
football because
100.
the defense, they are coming
But yeah, the
after you.
Steelers
That
are
time
high
just
on
not
those
good
guys,
enough.
man,
He
as
throws
far
an
as their body
incompletion.
type and the potential that they have. So, you know, I'm very excited, man, to see what we're going to do and how we're going to look this year overall on defense.
He'll have a chance for a return. Good yardage.
You got to outrun that. That's my bad. I probably should have, you know, leaned more so outside. I cut it up a little too soon.
First down coming up.
And I'm looking for him to have a decent year as well, man. I'm looking for Dre Archer to be more effective this year, you know, since he's no longer a rookie in the special team game and also on gadget plays.
Williams takes it out of the eye. He's taken
Damn, Cody
down
Wallace, you
at
missed
the
that block,
23.
baby.
That
Let's
last
run this
running
tight
play
end
was good
post.
for
Let me
only
see
a
who's in
yard,
there.
so it's second down and 9.
What the hell is Lawrence? See, this is a problem I got with Madden right now too, man. Is you can't really, for one, you don't really have a practice squad. For two, you can't stop stuff like this from happening unless you manually move people around. Like, why would he ever be playing at tight end? Look at all these tight ends on the roster. Like, I would like the game to recognize certain situations like that, if that makes sense. You understand what I'm saying? It's almost like, you know, it's preseason. I want to see the preseason games, you know, work the same way they would in real life. As a matter of fact, I'm going to call the timeout, but I don't even want the defense to play out there. Also, my bad, I said I was going to run Taj Boyd. But what I'm trying to say, I'm not sure if I'm making sense, but what I'm basically trying to say is I want to be able to replicate real preseason. And obviously, if I got 5 tight ends on the roster currently, you know, why is Lawrence Timmons showing as my third tight end? That makes no sense at all. You understand what I'm saying? Like, the game needs to recognize that.
Coming up.
Even though I didn't move him manually, I would like to see the game recognize the situation. And, you know, if you're doing a sub, fill in the spot accordingly.
Incomplete.
Wow.
Almost going in the other direction.
See his accuracy?
We've all heard this phrase before. That's why they're playing defense, because they can't catch.
And that's the reason, guys,
The
why,
coaches
you know,
don't care about
myself
that.
and,
You
you
get an
know,
opportunity,
Smitty
they
and
want
Azul
you to
and a lot of
make
other
a
guys in the sim community. See, there it is again. Look who's at wide receiver. Look at that. Why is Le'Veon Bell? See? There it is again. But that's why we put the passing accuracy down, man, so you can really see a difference. But why is Le'Veon Bell out here at... Look at it. This is ridiculous. Put Dre Archer in one of these spots, because he plays receiver as well. Excuse me. I'll throw one of these tight ends out there. Let's put Jesse James out there in that formation, since he's a big body, you know, big tall guy. And we'll put this guy there for the time being. Yeah, man. You're right. It's like it goes off position only, and that's it's not good, man. I'm gonna definitely have to mention that to the devs. I mean, I'm sure they know, but that's not a conversation that I don't think that I've had with them. So.
Boyd's gonna take the snap from the shotgun, and incomplete. The defense does his job, forcing fourth down in a hurry.
I think I had somebody else open, but I kind of rushed that.
Steelers are ready to punt this one away.
But I love the fact, man, that you are able to see, well, at least I'm seeing a huge difference in rating.
And Cruz is got it on the
right
return.
now. Seeing a huge difference in ratings in the quarterback. And like right there for the Giants, why is Victor Cruz returning punt? And it's supposed to be the second quarter of a preseason game. That doesn't even make sense. Why would he be out there?
As a slot receiver. Dropping back three, throws to the right, catch made, and they bring him down at the 44-yard line.
Good tackle by Will Allen.
Well, when you know you're going to
Solid
take a
veteran.
hit like that, you might as well go ahead and try to make the throw, because you're going to take the hit no matter what. Good job by the quarterback.
I see Shazier's still out there, but I ain't mad at that. I don't have it so many. Wait a minute. No. See, let me go change that. Sean Spence should be out there.
Got the completion. Robinson's met at the 44.
Shazier's all over that.
Nice catch.
Again, forgive me, guys, for all the pausing, man, but I'm sure it won't be like this going forward in the season. You know, this is the first game of this series that I'm doing, so I imagine it's going to be a little bit of this. But, yeah, Sean Spence should be in that spot. So put Vince right there. Spence. And that'll be it. And those guys will come in as they get tired. We'll put him here. And Joe Kruger. I don't even know who that is. That's somebody on that roster, but I don't know him. We'll put Zumwalt right there. That's a rookie from last year out of UCLA that we didn't really play him much. I think he was on that practice squad. But Zumwalt knows the system, because that's what he ran at UCLA.
Third down on the way.
So it's going to be interesting, man, to see how the linebacker crew works out this year.
Going to be tackled, and that's going to bring us to fourth down.
Good job by the defense, staying in the right
It was an
spots.
interesting
They
looking
give up the
tackle,
short
even
pass,
though
they
that
make the
second
tackle,
part was
and now we have fourth down coming up.
pretty generic. You know, when I say generic, because it was so slow, you just knew it was canned animation, which is cool, but it didn't seem to play out fast enough. But I like how it went into that tackle. I like the fact that the receiver tried to hurdle my guy that I was controlling, and then he jumped right into that tackle. So that was kind of crazy.
And this will bounce into the end zone for a touchback.
All right, Taj, I'm gonna give you a chance to do some work. gonna try to get the ball to who was that? Oh, Haywood Bay. I'm gonna try to work Sammy Coates if he's open. You know, try to get his rating up.
Looking to the right side and throwing. Gets
Ooh.
about 9 on the play.
There he is. He's about to get killed out there.
Quarterback looks down the field, nobody open, so he throws the drag route coming across the field, and it's a nice catch, just short of the first down.
Nickel formation here for the defense.
Put D'Angelo on the out route because I see ain't nobody over there really. Oh, almost messed up. Almost messed up. It wasn't the exact defense that I thought they were going to run.
What a nice catch by the receiver. Getting past the yard markers, makes the catch, and gets a first down.
They're back at the line after that catch for a first down. It's Williams in the backfield. Here we go. They're setting up screen. Maybe fine.
Well, when you keep chipping away with these short throws, sooner or
Thought
later
I had
that
the
defense
accelerated
is gonna
clock
come
on.
up,
Oh,
and
there you
when
go.
they
I'm about
come
to
up,
say.
that's when you throw it over the top.
The defense comes out in the nickel. Second down and 5. Gonna go draw. Taking it up the middle. Butler's gonna make the tackle.
And you're an offensive lineman, and you can line up and just run the football straight ahead.
I wonder why they changed Josh Harris's
you are going to get into the head
jersey.
of the defense.
He wears number 40 for the Steelers.
Tougher than you are, and he's going to come right at you.
It'll be third down. D'Angelo Williams. And he's taken down, but not until he picks up the first.
Steelers offensive line does a good job on this run. They show their power. The runner able to go up in there and get a first down.
First down here after the run.
Work the screen a little bit. Taj Boyd looks slim too. You look at his body type in comparison to what Big Ben looked like.
Setting up screen.
Ah, get the ball off, homie.
Short throw.
Jeez. All right, I'm gonna let you go to work here. Let's go on snug.
Play number 6 coming up on
I'm
this
actually
drive.
using the wrong playbook, man. Most of the time,
Offense lines
I've
up
been
here.
using the Saints playbook because they got the pistol. It kind of mimics, you know, what the Steelers' actual offensive, you know, playbook look like
10.
this year.
Almost intercepted that time.
When you see
Trying to
this
see if
cover
Taj
two
can fit it in there.
quarterback, you gotta know where to throw the football. That time he did not make a good decision.
I had some guys
Sometimes
underneath early, but I
deep
wanted to
down
go
the
for a
middle.
gusto
The
there.
safeties are not there. They're outside. He did not take advantage of that coverage that
But
time.
yeah, I'm hoping in Madden 16 they'll have the playbook right. Because like I said, man, in 2014, Pittsburgh ran a pistol. We had a pistol in our formation, and they did not
Boyd's gonna take it
have
from
that
the
in
gun.
Madden.
The ball's
That was a
deflected
bad
and
pass,
complete.
guys. I don't even know why I tried
That
that.
is so tough to do, to be that close to these receivers and deflect the pass without getting a penalty. Good job.
I don't even know why I tried to fit it in there.
No return here as he makes the fair catch.
Well, as you can see, man, the computer gives me a decent game, man.
They face first
You know,
down.
I've even lost to the computer sometimes because I don't try to do all the craziness. You know, I try to play the game as true to form as possible. I don't do money plays, nothing like that.
Catch made along the sideline.
Oh, Golson. Sinclair, you almost went and got that one. I like his reaction right there, though. He went after it.
The defense is trying to stop the big pass plays down the field.
I don't think that's a
you
catch,
can
though.
clearly see when somebody's
Looked like
around
he
the
out of
receiver.
bounds to me.
Throw it out there near the sideline, get these easy completions.
Golson almost went and got that thing, though. So I like what I
offense is
saw
set
right there.
at the line for the first down after that completion.
Get ready.
Dropping back now into the shotgun. Has his man. Tries to ward off the defender with a stiff arm.
Man.
Well, it's a great feeling.
Jennings ain't playing no games, I see.
To throw a short pass to the running back and get a long gain. This guy is in there because he can run it, he can catch it, and he can make things happen.
I know he's out there, I just don't see him.
Makes the reception. Mitchell's there to make the tackle.
Nobody cares.
Right,
just
guys,
get the job
giving it
done.
up there.
Deep down the field or throw it short to the running back and look at those extra yards after the short pass.
First down here after
see
the
who's the dog out here.
Harper's lined up in the slot. And Jennings got it on the handoff. He stacked up at that point. The Giants call a timeout.
20 yards.
Left now with
20 yards right there.
Second down after going to the ground game the first play.
Ooh.
Nickel formation for the defense
there you
here.
go. All right.
Out of the shotgun formation. Underneath, but can't find the mark that time as the pass goes incomplete.
I mean, I'm on.
Third and
I'm about to change him
following
up real
the
quick.
incompletion. Ryan Nassib backing off the line, shotgun formation. From the gun.
Tried to press him, but I ain't have time.
And he's going to be tackled, and that's going to bring us to fourth down. Timeout.
I like to see, faster defensive adjustments as well in Madden. That's one thing still that I loved about 2K, man. Before snap, you can highlight all of your DBs or all of your linebackers and make real quick adjustments. You didn't have to go to each player. And as you can see there, I went over to Durant Grant. I put him in man, but I didn't have enough time to press him. You know what I mean? It's like you just didn't have time. And had this been 2K8 or 2K5 even, I could have done that in a matter of 2 or 3 seconds.
And he's out across the 20 and tackled at the 21.
Another thing I don't necessarily like about
First down,
how they do preseason here in the game too is it doesn't recognize
loading up with extra defensive
the quarter. The same guys are going to stay in there for the second quarter. I mean, for the third quarter.
Got it in the gun. Looks but can't connect on the
My
short
goodness.
throw.
Boy.
As a quarterback, you see the receiver coming across the field on
I
a
can
drag
see
route.
he ain't really got
Don't
no.
lead him, just stick it on him. Quarterback throws it
His
too far in
accuracy
front that
is
time.
horrific.
Williams is in
That's
the
cool
backfield.
though. I ain't even mad at that. Needs to be more of that.
Boyd's back in shotgun formation. And that pass
Damn,
is
like look
going
where he
out of
threw the
bounds, incomplete.
I like that though. But see again, let's not be fooled. I have accuracy down to 10. So it's like, I'm the reason why that's happening.
Third down now.
I don't think you see it as much if you leave the game at 50. And you probably do. You probably do see a difference, but you seeing a wide margin of difference. You're definitely seeing it clearly with having it passing down to 10. And I love that. I love that. It's supposed to be like that. One of the things that I'm testing, man, definitely with the different sliders is I'm testing the weight, to see if, like, let's say somebody like Taj Boyd, if he gets on a hot streak, even with the accuracy down a bit,
First down here.
would that allow him to, would he be more successful as far as completing his passes because he's on a hot streak? Ooh.
He's taken down.
Chicolo out of the U.
Got to give the defense a lot of credit here. You want to stop the
Anthony
offense
Chicolo.
scoring here with under 2 minutes to go in the first half.
That's
Good
what we hoping
pressure
to
on the
get from him
quarterback, and they
in
take
real
him
life.
down behind the line of scrimmage.
Like I said, he's a big body, man. Him and Bud Dupree, they were some big boys. I think I want to say Bud Dupree is currently at what, 269, 6'4", and this kid Chicolo, I believe, is 6'3". I want to say he's 264, something like that. So, big guys, similar to what we had in Lamar Woodley. But Bud Dupree can move though, man. I mean, he carries his 269 very well. He doesn't look, big and flabby or nothing like. Oh, Dupree's about to get up out of there. That was a fairly decent, nice looking broken tackle animation. Not Victor Cruz.
Heads back onto the field for his next possession.
Still don't understand why he's back there, but.
And Jennings lined up in a single back formation. Here's the handoff and the
run
in on the stop.
Who was that at number 30?
He's never able to build up that power that he has as a running back when there's nowhere to go.
Is that Durant?
There's nowhere to go.
I mean, Durant Grant? He came up and laid the boom.
Second down now.
See who that is. Yeah, that's Grant.
Offense
that's Madden
lines
again.
Up here. And Jennings going to take the handoff now.
Terrence Garvin. Veteran guy now for the Steelers.
Third down. It's a dime look for the defense on this play. He'll stand back beyond the center in the gun. And they bring down the quarterback.
Vince Williams with a nice blitz.
For the offense.
Well, that time the quarterback is sacked on the third down, and that's, of course, that's bad. But the good thing is he did not try to force the football down the field and get the turnover.
And a touchback here will bring the ball out to the 20.
If you guys that are watching, man, let me know how y'all prefer to see these games. Since I'm going to do the offline CFM, if you prefer them to be live streamed like this and then I throw it on YouTube, or if you prefer me to just, record them and chop them up, condense them down to about 10, no more than 10 to 12 minutes, and just show the plays. So give me some feedback on that, man, because like I said, it's just, something to try to entertain you guys. Do something different than just your ordinary sim breakdown. I'm always going to do that, but, I'm definitely trying to bring more variety to the channel. Going to step it up a bit, man, going forward. Start doing some different things. Especially as these football games, are starting to improve. And I say these games because I can only assume, I'm hoping that Joe Montana is going to bring us something good. But as these games start to improve, it's going to start getting to the point where, I'm doing what I used to do with 2K8. When I used to, you guys who've been around for a few years, remember when I used to just show great football. So I want to get back into that, instead of always having to do the critique vids and, what I'm saying? So that's why, hopefully, with Madden 16, I have more opportunity to do that, and definitely, hopefully, with Joe Montana. With Dre Archer. That 4.3 speed. And hopefully with Joe Montana, I'd be able to do that as well. I could show great football plays, because that's really what I built my channel on, is breaking down football plays. It just so happened, you had a game like Madden that had a lot of flaws when I got started. So I became the guy who, critiqued plays and showed, shared my displeasure. But I would love to just get to the point where I'm just showing great football.
Lining up here after picking up more
that's what I aim to do.
The previous play.
That's on me. Come on, man. And I played running back.
Good job that time by the offense. They pick up a
cut that inside. You that close to the goal line. You got to read that block. You got to read your blocker's hips, man, and shoulders. That was on me right there. That's supposed to be sick.
better hurry to get the snap. The give. Trying to find an opening to the right.
Yeah, I could do that too, man.
The tackle.
I could definitely do it that way.
Coordinator's done a terrific job so far here today. He's got his team winning. You're in the red zone.
Yeah, I could definitely do it. I might start doing it like that. You're right. Chop some of them up. But the thing about it, man, you know, when you chop them too, you know, a lot of people don't realize, you know, with YouTube, it's a lot of work. It's a lot. You know, it ain't hard work like manual labor, but it's a lot of work that goes into chopping up footage and then commentating over it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it takes a little time. You know, especially when you want to get it clean. You don't want it to be all, you know, raggedy. You want it to be clean, and so it's a bit of work. So a lot of times, what I like about the live stream aspect that I try to take advantage of is, you know, the commentary's already hit, and it's like I'm reacting and interacting live. You know, it's not like it's a planned video. You know what I mean? So I love the live stream format. But I definitely, you know, I definitely dig chopping up plays too. So, like you said, man, I might switch it up from time to time. And like you said, maybe live stream some of the bigger games and things like that. So appreciate that feedback.
First down on the way. Coming to the line.
Yeah, very time consuming. I mean, like, ridiculously time consuming.
From the gun. The defense gets a sack.
93. Who's that?
Well, if your offensive line's not good enough,
one of them rookies. Oh, that's LT Walton.
How do you do that? Well, you
Central
keep the
Michigan.
tight end in, let him be an extra blocker, and you tell your running backs
Another big
to
boy,
help
big
out too,
body.
blocking some of these defensive linemen.
So yeah, man. You know, I'm glad that we have these types of tools where we can share rosters and stuff like that, man. You know, try to bring some spice to the game.
Ryan Nassett will take it right from the center. And Jennings got it on the handle and gains about one.
You got to give a lot of credit
Johnson
to
not having any success right now. You know, it is just preseason.
That last play was a run. Third down coming up.
Get ready. Red 38.
He'll take the snap from the gun. Looks to his left. Great pass. Great catch.
What
Great control.
Okay, what happened over there?
Quarterback that kind of time, he's going to get comfortable, get his feet under him, be relaxed.
Let me take a look at that. That was a zone, and I put Durant Grant in man because he's supposed to be a good man coverage guy. Now, what happened? Oh, he did. He's doing his thing. That wasn't him. Okay, I see what happened. See, now this is the problem area, man. This is something that I've explained or talked to the devs about. One of which, you guys have heard me say this 1,000 times. I hate this right here. I hate the flat-footed defender, excuse me. But this is something that must get fixed in Madden. And Joe Montana, I know, shout-outs to my guy Damon Groh. You know, he checks out a lot of my videos. We can't have this, man. Watch this. This is a zone coverage, right? Now, that's no secret. I've told you guys, I play football, I play running back, and I play strong safety. Now, I understand that when playing strong safety or secondary coverage, this is if your responsibility is this zone area. That's cool. But you also are responsible for recognizing what's happening on the field. There is no one else in your vicinity, especially if you're looking that way. Let's just say he's looking over there. You see that man's cover. Keep running with your guy. It's now man coverage. You understand what I'm saying? And it looks like what happened here was Antoine Blake. Can't be mad at what he did because he recognizes this guy coming across. So actually, to be fair, I will say this. This may have been a fairly decent decision because he could tell this guy streaking across the field. Now, this is where this guy comes into play. Had he stepped up And again, once again, you're in your zone, but when someone crosses your face, run with him. Once he steps up, or at least shuffles over to the right, it kills that route. So let's just give Madden the benefit of the doubt. Let's say Blake is reading that, and he decides, okay, well, I need to jump this guy. But again, let's get back to Blake. Why would you leave the only man that you're with? Why would you leave him? It ain't your responsibility to try to play this guy to your left. It should be the linebacker's responsibility. And that's the thing, man. It's like this game, Madden, to me, is too, at times, sometimes you see great zone play, but other times it's so like scripted in terms of how they play the zone. Gotta go away from that, man.
This play set up by the long gainer.
Gotta get away from that. It needs to be dynamically played based on the situation. Oh, get the ball, somebody.
Back the other way. They bring him to the turf.
The Giants offensive line is getting crushed. I know it's their second string, but I mean, it's my second string D line.
You know about the NFL, when you have the football in your hands, they are going to attack it. You got to know.
But there's little stuff like that, man, like the little zone play, stuff like that. We need to see dynamic zone play from any football game. That's what I need to see.
Is in the backfield. First down and 10.
Oh, it's my blow. I waited too long. I had guys open. And see, to me, when, if you ask me realistically, what are some of the areas where Montana could excel over Madden? Because truth be told, you got to keep it in perspective. It's still a year one game. You know what I'm saying? I think people are expecting this game to be the Holy Grail. But you got to give them time to progress. But I think in areas that Madden lacks in, if they're able to focus on those things their first year out, they got something. Like, imagine if they got the dynamic zone play like I speak of. Imagine if their player movement is flawless. No pops and no hiccups. It's just, it looks very fluid and natural. That's an area where they could excel. And that's what I'm expecting. What am I doing?
Well, the defense is trying to get off the field.
That was just stupid right there. Look at Landon Collins.
But they're upset because they had a chance for the turnover.
Excuse me.
A sure interception.
Little areas like that, man. That's what I'm expecting from Montana. I'm not expecting that game to be the end-all, be-all. I mean, it's going to be stuff that is missing. It could be, who knows, it could be visually, it could be gameplay-wise, it could be mode-wise. It's going to be stuff that the game is not going to be better than Madden, and you just got to understand that. Madden has been in production for so many years, but if they focus on a lot of the intricate gameplay, woo! That was nasty. The overthrow leads to an interception. Got to go look at that. But like I said, man, if they can focus on the intricate on-field details like that, then that's replicable competition. Like, very respectable competition if they could do that. I like that. I like the fact that it was an overthrow. I don't like his flat foot just standing there. But I like that it was an overthrow that led to an interception. And once again, you're seeing the difference from a Nassib versus Eli Manning.
First down coming up.
Nassib, I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right.
D'Angelo Williams. McClain's there to make the stop.
You got to keep your offense.
A lot of traffic in the middle right there.
Run the football every once in a while. That run, even though it was a short game, it served.
I got to get back to work, man. So I'm just trying to get through this game here.
It's Williams in the backfield. 2nd and 9. And Williams has handed the football. And he's tackled, but not until he picked up the first down. We've got a player down, so we'll step aside and be back in just a moment.
Trying to get Sammy Coates involved, man, because you got to work on his XP. See if I can get him across the middle here.
Wide receivers are bunched up. Gets it out for the completion. Nice tackle.
Get him a couple catches.
Nice situation here for the offense. They're winning the football game. Now they're in the red zone. Let's see if they can come up with a play that fools the defense.
Wide receivers stacked up on this play. 2nd down and 7. Williams going to take the handoff now. And Ayers is the
that was good penetration by the defense. Love to see stuff like that.
Don't let a receiver get behind you. And
91, he played that the way he's supposed to. That was nice.
And then let him catch it and come up and make the tackle.
Looking at 3rd down. Boyd's going to take the snap from the shotgun.
Oh, man, I had him open. Tight end was open, and I couldn't get the ball off.
Well, you just get tired of sending 3 or 4 players at the quarterback in passing situations. So this time the defensive coordinator sends the blitz.
See, like I said, man, putting it up to 100.
Get a sack.
It's a living proof that it still works. It's pass blocking.
Yes, sir. When you get great field position, Jim, you got to take advantage of it. The offense didn't do it. I blame the coach. Those were terrible play calls, but a good kick by the kicker.
The Giants prepared to return to kickoff. No return. The ball's coming out to the 20. They come to the line, and it's 1st down. He's setting up here. He's been sacked 4 times already. What a beating it has been for the quarterback. Throw to the left. He has the grab. That brings the play to an end.
I had to write a message right there, guys.
You see zone defenses.
The computer was playing for me right there.
That's what the quarterback did that time. Good job by the
I had to send a
receiver
message
running
to
in
my
there and making the
manager.
catch.
Harper's in the slot.
Like I said, I'm about to jump off
Hike it to him out of the shotgun.
right after this game.
Underneath and incomplete that time.
Massive, terrible, man. But see, like turning the pass and slider down is like a gift and a curse, man. You know what I mean? It's like it's good because it helps replicate a little bit, but sometimes they're insanely inaccurate.
With 2 hands, he has it. That's a good tackle, and that's a quick 3 and out.
Good job by the defense. They're well taught, well schooled by the defensive coordinator. They know in situations like this, if it's thrown short of the 1st down marker, they're good. They come up, make the tackle. Now we have 4th down.
He's brought down.
Got to get those physics right,
Very
too,
lucky
man.
that time on that punt return. The coverage was
No presence of
outstanding,
an actual
and the return,
double
just
tackle.
lucky he
I mean,
didn't
a
fumble
gang
the football.
tackle.
The Steelers come onto the field for their next series. An extra tight end on the field for this one. Williams is going to secure the handoff. They've got him behind the line of scrimmage.
Good job by the defense. They stopped the 1st down.
After
play.
this series,
They're down by
man,
the
I think I'm
offense,
just going
and now they have a
to come
good
to the end of the
situation.
game. I got to get out of here. Get back to work here. This game is running longer than I expected.
After running it, it's 2nd down. Williams is in the backfield. They'll go shotgun here. Throws the pass. Almost intercepted.
Look up at that score.
Defender played good defense right there. He wouldn't let me get inside. I like that.
So you got to
kind of threw that one to
manage the
see what
game.
was going to happen.
Don't take a chance.
And I like the way he played
They
that.
face third down after the incomplete pass. The Steelers at the line of scrimmage with their set of receivers in a
Let
bunch
me see what
formation.
the safety going to do right here against that route that coach is running.
Boyd standing back in the shotgun, ready for the snap.
Dang, man, every time.
And he's gonna be dumped.
I was about to hit R1, the tight end. Every time Boyd,
You gotta give that defensive front a
I don't know if
lot of
it's
credit, man.
Boyd,
They are
lined up or
pushing to
whatever,
get
but every time I got somebody open and I try to pass it, I can't get it off.
And they get back to the quarterback and take him down.
So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, man.
And Cruz is going to look for space now. And Cruz is stopped right there.
So, all right, guys, man, hope y'all enjoyed it. You know, I need to get out of here. I got some work to do. So I'm going to go ahead and super sim this one, but, you know, I'll be back to you guys shortly. So like I said, I probably will do a lot of these live, but I will cut up some, you know, and, you know, do the short version as far as chopping them up. So, for everybody who's watching, I appreciate you watching, man. And like always, let me know what you think. Be back at you soon. Peace.